It worked. Okay. Hi, everyone. I wanted to jump on here live, um, really because I don't have the time to record things as I wish I did. So just going live, you know, it's just natural, right? So what I wanted to talk about, and I took some notes, and I I was looking up the word grace, and we use it a lot in as a yoga teacher, a kundalini teacher, meditation teacher, all of the spiritual teachings and learning, and the environment I choose to surround myself in, that is all about, wellness. So I must say happy Wellness Wednesday, because it's my Wellness Wednesday where I teach yoga, I teach fitness, Pilates, and then at the end of the day I close it out with a Reiki circle, which is a Reiki sound meditation. And as you also know, I do EFT. So as a fitness instructor, a life coach for EFT. So what I teach, I practice. I try and use it. And sometimes we all fall short. We're like, okay, I'm not going to do it today. And then you're like, wait, I really do need this as a combat to all of the BS in life, or all of the challenges, the lessons in life. So if we look at it as a lesson, something to learn from, then we come out better for it. So yesterday I received a phone call, and I'm trying to make these videos like 3 minutes, intentionally, and I'll do longer ones. But I'll do a tapping on grace in the future. But what I wanted to touch on is tapping on the word grace and what it truly means. And when we go through hard times, we try to, fight back. And should we fight back? And the question is, should we fight back? And how should we fight back? And how can, what is the result? What is the end goal of it? Is it going to be anger and just leaving it in anger? Or is it going to be actually, hey, I want this person to actually see what I see or how I see it. And even if they don't see it the way I see it, at least I did the best I could with the situation. So yesterday I received a phone call, and it basically resolved an issue that I had. I'm not going to go into detail, since 2011. And basically this was a situation of misinformation. And I basically wanted it cleared up, because I didn't have receipts. I didn't have a paper that said, hey, this person actually said this and said this was the process of doing something. So it was a long drawn out issue, but I wanted the principle of the matter and for it to get resolved. And several phone calls. And I think it was Monday at the eclipse I made a phone call, and I don't know if that was from that time on, but someone reviewed the paper and boom, it was resolved. But even before I got the phone call, something else came up, because in life you always have different challenges. And I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to fight about it, but I will address it, but I won't fight about it or go about it the way that I was initially thinking. And that way it brings me peace, and it will be that person's karma, if you will. So I looked up, the definition of grace, and it wasn't really exactly where I was going, because in the spiritual teaching they always say, handle things with grace. And you receive the message, you hear it, but then you're like, how do I apply it to my life and to various situations, right? So I looked up, okay, spiritual meaning of grace. And I don't know why the word meaning is repeated again. I don't know. But so it came up with give yourself, and it gave me the definition, but I turned it into, I rephrased it so it makes sense for what I'm trying to convey. And grace, give to yourself at the most unlovable moment. So you're give to yourself grace at your most unlovable moment. Okay, so I'll put grace in there. So give to yourself at your most unlovable moment. And then you can say it again. give to yourself grace at your most unlovable moment. Okay. So you're so upset that you're unlovable. You don't want to hear about love. You don't want to hear, it's over 5 minutes now, but it's worth it. You don't want to hear about love, right? Because you're so upset at something that someone did that was not right, right? And then the other part I wrote is when you feel restless. So when you're angry, you feel restless. You want it resolved, right? You want a solution. And it might take a couple days. You're still upset about it. You're like, okay, how can I solve this? How can I get clarity here and to show that, yeah, this is what exactly happened, right? So give yourself grace at your most unlovable moment when you feel restless. So how do you move through feeling restless, feeling upset? You're going to feel the way, or for me, I'm going to feel the way I feel until I come to that point of what difference does it make if it's making me upset? How can I flip this and handle the situation with grace? So when you're ready to tap on grace, you can word it in your own way of being truthful to yourself on how you're feeling right now. You know, it's like, I'm at a moment right now where I feel unlovable. I don't, not like I'm needing love from someone, but I'm not willing to hear about love. This is more of putting up a shield or getting clarity out there, right? And I feel restless and I want a resolution. And how do I go about the resolution? So in that moment, I wasn't, before I got the phone call, I was tapping it out of me with positive thoughts, positive words, but addressing it, not like airy fairy, la-di-da-di stuff, but more like, you know, I'm going to allow this to continue the way it has, and I will resolve it. I might just write a letter and say, okay, this is my experience. No one is willing to look at it, and I'm letting it go, right? So, and I felt I've letting it go many times, but I guess it was for me to let go of them not letting it go, or just for me to let it go too. And I just let it go, and then I got the phone call, it's resolved. And I'm like, okay, well, that was my truth, and I'm happy that someone reviewed it and saw that this could have been resolved. But I really felt that on the eclipse, the phone call that I made really played a significant part, possibly, I don't know. But either way, it's resolved, and that's the issue. What if it's not resolved? We have to resolve it ourselves. We have to let go. So I was prepared to let go of it and just move forward and say, you know what, forget it. That's that person's karma. That's what they stand for, or their establishment stands for. And you hit yourself with grace again, the thought of grace, and you get angry again. You hit yourself again with grace, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to let go of this. It's kind of like picking your battles, even if you know that the other person is wrong and they lack what they say they stand for, right? So we all have those experiences, and we have to pick our battles, and you can win by even writing. I find writing is my power tool, right? Ever since I was small, I would always write. So writing and looking at it and go, how can I convey this message, and writing it out, and then letting it go. And when you do that, that speaks strongly for your character, because it's not about saying, hey, that person is wrong. It's more of saying, this is what I experienced, this was wrong. If this is the way that you conduct yourself, that's on you. You know, and then today I heard someone say, there will come a time. So what that means to me is that there will come a time when that person will have their revelation, their realization, their haha moment, their awakening, and you have to have your awakening. So tapping on grace, I will do that at another time. Today's Wednesday, my busy day. But I just felt that this tapping message was very important, and the meaning spiritually of grace, of offering that peace to yourself when you're in that unlovable state, when you are in that restless state, right? And then offering that person grace by not allowing their negative way to affect you. You know, so offering that situation grace. You don't have to love that person. You don't have to forgive that person. You don't have to be friends with that person. You just have to offer that experience grace. And when you offer that experience grace, you're saying that this is an unlovable moment, this is a restless moment, but it's not going to get the best of me. And that's where your true power is spiritually when it comes to grace. That's all I had to share today. But I hope everyone have a wonderful end of September, a start to October, and namaste, satnam, peace.